I wanted to film a kind of back to school makeup look. Obviously, I'm wearing a full face of makeup. So if you're somebody who doesn't like a full face of makeup for back to school or for school, then this isn't the makeup look for you. But I will have a makeup look very, very, very soon that's going to be a less of a full face makeup look, which for me is so hard because I always do full face. So like coming out with tutorials that aren't full face is literally impossible. I'm like 0 or 100. There's like no in between, so it's really hard for me to find an in between. But I definitely want to come up with a minimal makeup look, but this is one for like the makeup lovers like me to do. Also, I just want to like point out really fast, if you guys are commenting on my videos, I always comment back to you. But if for some reason you notice that I never comment back, it's probably because there's no reply button by your name. And I'm going to insert a comment right here as an example. Somebody who commented on my videos who said that I never replied to them and I replied to everybody else but them. It's definitely not that I don't reply to you. I would love to reply to you, but there's no reply button by your name, and that means that like I can't tag you in a comment. Even if I tried to like plus your name and find it, I can't find it. So I don't know if that means you're not subscribed to me or if that means that you have your settings weird. I'm not sure. I've heard that it's kind of both, so I don't know which is which, but definitely look into that because I would love to reply to you. Usually if I can't, I'll just write it as a comment in general and I'll say to, and then I'll put your name. So always check back if you think I never replied to your comments. I probably did. It's probably just somewhere else because I couldn't actually reply to you. So I never ignore people. I never ignore people. Guys, today I decided that my kind of goal for this tutorial today would be to show you guys something that you could do that's really fast and simple. Well, not fast and simple. Okay, it's fast because it's all using one palette. This palette is from Tarte and it is their Rainforest After Dark palette. This is a limited edition palette, but it's still available on Sephora right now, so I will link that in the description so you guys can go check it out if you want to. I'm definitely not affiliated with Tarte or with any of that. I just really like this palette and I think it's really great because it comes with a bronzer, a blush, a highlight, and all these shadows. So this is just like a rendition of a look with this palette. So this is kind of more like a makeup look using this palette and not as much a back to school makeup look, but I consider it back to school because it's pretty easy and all you would need is to grab this in the morning instead of looking for an eyeshadow palette, a blush, a bronzer, you know, a highlight. It's all right here. It's all right here with just a couple extra necessities. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel if you aren't already, and leave me any video requests you have for me in the comments down below, and I will always reply to your comment unless there's no reply button. And also follow me on Snapchat because I Snapchat a lot. So let's get into the tutorial. So I stop talking and you guys can start listening and watching the makeup magic happen. Okay, bye.
Alright, so starting off, I'm going to use my Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer, and I don't know if you guys can tell, but like my face gets really red every time I put my primer on. Like, look how red my face got. Ugh, it's disgusting. Okay, and then I'm going to move on to my foundation, and I use the Naked Skin Foundation from Urban Decay. The shade I'm currently using is 3.0, and then I'm going to go ahead and blend out the foundation. Blend it in to my skin and make it look even and give me a nice even skin tone. This foundation is very lightweight, so it's really good for school if you don't have a lot of coverage, so that's why I really like it. Plus it's my everyday foundation, especially during the summertime and just all the time because I love it. Okay, it's perfect, so go get it. And then we have my Fake Up Concealer. I was having really some struggles getting a close-up of it, so I just decided not to. So I don't have the close-up there. But yeah, that's the Fake Up Concealer. I'm just using my finger to blend it in. And then I'm going to go in with the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. And I'm going to apply that in like an arrow shape towards my nose. And then I'm going to blend it out with my Beauty Blender and make it look all good. Go around my nose. I kind of use this to like get extra coverage in some areas, just what's left on my Beauty Blender from like when I sponge it out, because sometimes there's a little bit of extra product on the Beauty Blender. So then I'll go in on my forehead with it and cover up my pimples that I named Bessie and Betsy. It's fine. And my nose, you know, to get some of those freckles covered up on my nose that just the foundation doesn't cover. And then I always like to set it with a yellow powder. Today I'm using the Anastasia, or no, I'm using the Kat Von D one from the Shade and Light palette. So I just always like to set my concealer with a yellow powder. And then I'm going to go ahead and set the rest of my foundation with a Rimmel Stay Matte powder. You can use translucent. Mine has a little bit of color just because I like the extra coverage that it adds. So use whatever powder you want to set your face if you wish. Then I'm going to be going in with two different like paint pot like things. First I'm using my MAC Rubenesque paint pot on the inner half of my eyelid, and then on the outer half of my eyelid I'm going to be using this Maybelline Color Tattoo in Inked and Pink. This is a brand new one. I just used it for the first time today because my other had dried up a little bit. So I'm just going to put that on the inner and the outer half because I'm going to be using gold shadow on the inner half and a purple shadow on the outer half, and so these are good color bases for those shadows. So then I'm going to go in with this matte light brown shade from the palette, and I'm going to apply that to my crease, and this is going to be kind of like basically my crease color. I wouldn't really call it a transition color, it's more of like my main crease color, but I really like this color and I think it works really well with this look. And then of course, as usual, I'm going to blend out that shade because you all know how I really like to blend out my shadows and make things look very seamless. Then I'm going to go in with that dark purple shade from the palette, and I'm going to apply this over the Maybelline Color Tattoo that I used. And this really, that pink color tattoo really helped make the purple a lot more vibrant and a lot prettier. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to mix two colors. I'm going to use that same brown color and that purpley shade, that light purple shade, and I'm going to mix those together, and I'm going to use that on the crease to help blend out any harsh lines that may have been created when putting on that purple shadow, and also just to help the purple look a little bit more seamless by adding a little bit more purple to the crease. Then I'm going to go ahead and blend it out again because, you know, blending is my best friend. So then we're going to go ahead and we're going to start with that gold shadow. It's just so pretty. It actually works really well when applied with your finger, which I actually found out later, but I use my brush and I'm just applying it over where I put the gold paint pot, and it works really well there. And then I'm going to just take this dark brown shadow and I'm going to apply that to the outer corner. Now if you don't want a deeper outer corner, you don't have to do this. I'm just really obsessed with having a deep dark outer corner, so I always go back in, but if you want a more light look for school, you definitely don't have to do this step. And then I'm going to go ahead and mix those two colors I mixed before again, and I'm going to run that along my lower lash line. Then I'm going to go in with that darkest shade again on an angled brush, and I'm going to use that right along my lower lash line, and then I'm going to go ahead and use my finger just to smudge it out so that way it doesn't look harsh, because you definitely don't want a harsh lower lash line. And then I'm going to go in with this highlighting shade that comes in the palette, and I'm going to use this on my brow bone, although I really would prefer a matte highlight, but I'm using all shadows from this palette, so I went ahead and used this. And then I'm also going to use that same color on an angled brush in my inner corner. Then I'm going to go ahead and line my upper lash line with my Revlon Color Stay Liquid Eye Pen. This is one of my favorite eyeliners. I absolutely adore this eyeliner. It's a drugstore liner. It's cheap. I always tell you guys this, but it's so good and I love it so much. And then I went out of frame entirely doing my waterline, so I just didn't show that clip. But then I'm going to go ahead and apply the Supersizer Mascara from CoverGirl. And I just have a short little clip of me applying this because who actually wants to sit there and watch me apply mascara for 10 minutes? Because I seriously take that long to put my mascara on. If any of you guys are wondering, I literally take that long. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use the bronzer that comes in the palette to contour my face and kind of warm up my forehead. So I'm not really doing like a harsh contour, I guess, because this is a bronzer. It's not technically a contouring powder anyways. And I'm going to also go into my temples and on my forehead to really warm up my face quite a bit. And then I'm going to go in with the blush, and I absolutely love this blush. I don't know if they sell this singly, but I love this blush, and I'm going to put that on my cheeks where I normally would put my blush. And then for the highlight shade, I was actually struggling. I went in with the brush at first, and I was trying to get it, but the brush just was not putting off very much pigmentation at all. So I ended up going back in with my finger because you guys are totally going to be able to see a complete difference when I use my finger. Now, yeah, see, so much more glow and highlight. The highlighter in this palette really isn't the best highlighter, but it totally works, and it's really subtle, and I've been into really like dramatic highlighters lately anyways, so, but it's a very nice subtle highlighter. And then for my lips, I'm going to go ahead and use the ColourPop Ultra Matte Lipstick in the color Trap. And I don't know why, but I noticed when I was putting this on, this is actually like really similar to my natural lip color. I didn't realize my natural lip color was so like purpley, but it really is. Ooh, I put a little bit too much on there. But yeah, I just went ahead and I applied that to my lips. have it, you guys. That was my completed back to school makeup look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please be sure to subscribe and leave me a comment in the comments down below, and I will talk to all of you guys in my next video. Bye, everyone.